So my first question is, how long was your beard before you trimmed it?
How long?
Yeah.
It was longer than this.
Longer than that, I would expect so.
I didn't trim that much off. I basically sat down at the chair and I was like,
Yeah.
I haven't trimmed the length down here in a while.
Right.
She's like, I can tell. And then, so it was kind of more of like a get the weirdness out,
All right.
get the scraggliness out kind of thing. So
Well, we're here with Chase from TUPPS. Chase and his father were our first interview in Brew Bloods way back.
yeah,
That was, boy, I don't even remember what episode that was, but it was a long time ago.
yeah.
So how's business been in the last
Was it
year?
even 2016 or was it 2015?
It might have been 2015.
Was it the end of the summer of 20?
Something like that, yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so how, in the meantime, you guys have released a lot of new beers. Another question is, why does it Saison have no name?
Momentary lack of creativity.
It's a good,
The problem is, I mean, really, is there's no shortage of creativity. We come up with all kinds of weird nonsense names all the time, but
right.
then you do a quick Google search and you find that 6 other breweries already have that name, and in an effort not to get sued,
Yeah.
we can call it TUPPS Saison and nobody cares. So, and it really, I mean, it's an Imperial Saison, so we're kind of rolling with TUPPS Imperial Saison. If we do a different Saison down the road,
Right.
that's not Imperial, because that's a little bit more of a niche style, then we'll maybe get creative and contact our lawyers and all that kind of stuff. But yeah.
I don't know that I've ever seen an Imperial Saison before. So this is 9.4%.
9.4.
Which is the highest ABV Saison I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think Oak Highlands Chump Change might be up there too. I'm not
Okay.
sure.
All right.
But, yeah, I mean, this one, our goal was for this beer to drink smooth and easy, but very dry, right?
It'd be very dangerous.
Yeah, so and we really love this Saison yeast, this French Saison yeast, so we wanted to ferment it at a temperature where we would really accentuate those yeast esters.
Right.
And then whatever we added to it, which is black peppercorn, bay leaf, and a little bit of light dried lemon, we didn't want to overpower that yeast ester, because that's really what makes the Saison great, right?
Right.
So in an effort to have that beer drink dry, but have still some body, you know, some Saisons can drink very, very light, right?
Right.
We added a little bit of malt to compensate, and a byproduct of that, and fermenting at a slightly higher temperature means
Yeah.
high alcohol content.
yeah. Well, I mean, kudos, because this is very smooth.
thank
It's
you.
got a little bit of a black peppery finish to it.
Yeah.
Very dry, but not so dry it's like drying my mouth out. So
Right.
I think this is another home run for you guys.
Thank
this is
you.
really, really good.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this one.
Yeah, and I'm trying your day off, and it's very good. Kolsch is not a normal style I go for, but this is, I feel like you could have a few of these like by the pool during the summer and that kind of thing. Probably along with your TUPPS IPA, to be honest.
Yeah. The Saison, or the Kolsch, is one of those styles where I feel like it's a style that gets used and abused maybe a little bit. And, you know, there's a lot of Kolsch's out there and blondes and light lagers out there that are used to compete as opposed to used to showcase the style.
Absolutely. Yep.
And so we decided with ours, you know, we do have a market for light beer drinkers, and so we wanted to appease that market, but we couldn't just brew carbonated water, right?
Right.
So we wanted to do something that had flavor, so we use very traditional Kolsch yeast, so you get a little bit of that fruitiness on the front end from those Kolsch yeast esters. And then we actually added a little bit of applewood smoked barley. So if you get a savoriness on the back end, that's actually that little bit of applewood smoked barley. Not a smoked beer. We don't want it to drink like a smoked beer. We just wanted to add some complexity and kind of a savory counterpoint to that fruitiness of the Kolsch yeast. So
I was going to say the back end that's savory makes it very different than a lot of Kolsch's, because a lot of Kolsch's are not, I wouldn't say bland, but they're closer to bland. Like you actually added a little bit of spice savory to it, which is really good.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that.
Thank you. Yeah, a lot of Kolsch's are, I don't know, there's a lot of different ways you could describe it, but not exciting, I guess.
Kind of bland,
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, normally.
So, I mean, and that style is great. I mean, those yeast esters are really nice and pleasant, a little bit of fruitiness, but but ultimately they usually drink pretty bland and boring, so.
Yeah, I would agree. Now, the other thing I wanted to ask you about, your TUPPS IPA, obviously very successful, very popular, and it's a go-to for me and Mark both. The fact that you guys have it at Target has helped a ton.
Yeah.
With your distribution around here in Dallas. I was going to ask is it 4L or 4Ella?
4Ella.
4Ella, okay.
Typo, don't mind us.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Untapped has it wrong. It has it spelled ELLA, so just to let you know.
It actually is ELLA.
Oh, it is? Okay, I was looking up.
That sign.
That's misspelled, okay.
That's a rush job on our part to get the signs ready for today in time. So if you look at the small print, it does say Ella.
Okay. So Untapped has it right. Okay.
Yeah. Untapped has it right. Yeah.
So I was going to ask. I mean, I know that we spoke to your father earlier, and he was talking about the fact that you guys are going to actually start canning it and bringing it out. Is that going to be like a regular thing going forward? Or is this like a one-time canning run?
So it's slightly more complex. The answer to that question, unfortunately.
Okay.
So we're going to have it as long as we have it. The problem is problem/good thing, I guess, is we lucked into an agreement with a distributor for these hops. Ella, Galaxy, and Big Secret. So we have the hops for what we think our volume is going to be through the end of this year into the beginning of next year. But beyond that, we're on a waiting list. Like I said, we lucked into it. We shouldn't have gotten it. So especially Big Secret and Galaxy are really hard to find hops. So I don't know if we can guarantee that we're going to have it next year. A lot of the breweries out there are looking for Galaxy right now, and so that hop is contracted out through like 2023 or something.
Wow.
So what might happen though is we'll run that beer in 4-pack cans starting in probably 2 months, as long as we have availability for the hops, and then just build a different hop profile but keep the structure of the beer the same next year. So
yeah, that's interesting because that sounds very similar to the Community Mosaic that they started doing the Mosaic IPA just because those are the hops they could get a contract for.
Yeah.
So that's kind of an interesting thing. So I guess contracts on hops with so many breweries coming up and everything, that's kind of a difficult thing these days, I guess.
Yeah, there's the Nelson Sauvin and there's the New Zealand, there's a lot of New Zealand hops, South African hops really popular right now, but the hard part is just getting access to them. So Mosaic is actually more readily available now. Citra is more readily available now, but you're paying more for them than you probably should, unless you have a futures contract where your hops are going out 4 or 5 years. So if we can get the hops, we'll do it. But worst case scenario is that we keep Ella, because Ella actually we can still get, and then we'll build a different profile using, South African if we can, or maybe Mosaic, or, even some of the hops that are kind of losing their luster, I guess, like Amarillo and Simcoe, which are fantastic flavored hops. So maybe we can, incorporate some of those with the Ella, which is tropical and all that. So yeah, we'll build something else if we lose our hops. So we won't call it Porella, obviously. We'll have to come up with new artwork and get creative on names again. But yeah, sure.
So anything else in the pipe you want to relay? Like anything in the future special plans?
We're going to do a joint launch with the Saison. It's going to be a dark Saison. So the story of this beer is kind of it was a trash can beer basically. Like we had a bunch of different grains left over, had some hops left over. We brewed the Saison, so we had the yeast, and we didn't use the yeast again because we don't have any other Saisons in our lineup. We'd lose the yeast. So we repitched that yeast into a beer that we built with kind of, grains that we weren't using readily in some of the beers we were doing, thinking, we'll run it through the tap room, see if it sells. It turned out fantastic.
Yeah.
And so we spiced it up. We had sage, cloves, cinnamon. We're actually going to do a joint bottle launch. We're going to do a joint bottle launch with that beer and our light Saison, or our Imperial light and colored Saison. So the artwork will blend together. When they sit on the shelf together, they'll look cool next to each other. Barrel aged, full grown man will probably hit in like a month and a half to 2 months. That's getting submitted to the TABC soon. We're talking about doing a kettle sour, a little kettle sour series, late August. So.
All right, man. Yeah, you guys have a lot in the works then.
Yeah, well, this is all tentative based on let's say.
Yeah, sure.
The cores pick up. Let's say Kolsch picks up. That's coming out in 12 packs, in a couple weeks. So if that takes off, then the limiting constraint's going to be our tank space. So.
Well, congratulations. I love the Saison. It's really good.
Thank you.
Congratulations on all the success. You guys have done fantastic.
I appreciate it. Yeah,
all
thanks so much.
Catch you guys later.
Cheers.